Hello and welcome to the TTP Field Manual podcast. I am your host, Joshy. With me, as always, is my lovely best friend, Jonny. How are you, my friend?
Oh, how cute are you? And also, not always. There have been a couple of times where you've had a guest instead.
We've had our little man in the wall take your place.
That's it, eh? That's it. But no, I'm definitely back and ready to get at it.
It would have been so, good of a setup if Zach was actually in today's episode. But unfortunately, he's a bit unwell at the moment, so he's definitely not here.
Definitely not here.
How are you?
I'm good. Getting on. How are you now that you're finally back in this fine country of ours?
Back in Aussie land?
Yeah.
Well, you know me. I'm back in the part of the world where all the tree pollen and the local dust likes to irritate my entire sense of being. I don't experience that when I'm overseas, so a little bit of a reality check moment coming back to my home with all my things, and then it's like, achoo! You know?
Yeah, for sure. That must be terrible.
But it's not all that bad. I got to see you yesterday and whoop your butt.
Absolutely wiped me across the floor. It was brutal.
Bent Magnus over and wiped his butt with the Codex Astartes.
Yeah, you did. It was rough.
Sorry about that once again.
Nah, it was fun.
Kinda was.
You got some show notes for me, Joshy boy?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, do you?
Yeah, probably. So the show notes are, as they usually are, we have links in all the bios of where you're listening to things.
Damn
Using Spotify as an example, there's going to be a link to our community Discord where we have little things such as work in progress, photos and chats. We have discussions on things sometimes. In the links, there's also our official landing page, which can take you out to our Instagram, YouTube channel, things of that nature.
Get on it.
Yeah. Besides that, if you are enjoying this podcast, please share it with your mates and rate it on whatever platform you happen to be on. Thank you very much. Lastly, book club. Probably next episode will be a book club episode.
Oh, you finally finished the book, are you?
Nope. We'll talk about August's book, Requiem Infernal, a Sororitas spooky book. I believe you finished it, though.
I sure have.
Yay, so proud of you.
It took me about a week. I always give you a couple of weeks and then I still finish it before you.
I was doing really well before I went on my holiday.
Which
and then
is
when
fair.
I was on my holiday, I was just around family a lot. And so I'd only be listening to my book for 10 to 20 minutes every other day. And in this particular book's case, it's not one you can just leisurely listen to for 10 to 20 minutes at a time. You will forget everything that's happened.
Yes, and it will lead to confusion.
Yep. I've listened to the chapter 6 or 7, I don't remember, 3 times. Because I just didn't remember. I was like, what's the priest doing?
But yes, next episode.
Next episode. And in our community Discord, we are actually, as of today, taking suggestions for next month's book club because we want to have a bit of a rotation. We don't want to be these selfish podcast hosts that is always picking and choosing the direction of things. We want y'all to join in too, have a bit of fun.
That's it.
That's it. Check it out.
Let's do it.
Jonny, ready for the favorite segment of the show?
Sure am.
How's your hobby?
Mate, my hobby has been on fire, as I'm sure you can tell from yesterday.
I really can.
I have one model left to paint for my army on parade. We're so close. I'm going to get it done this week. We're going to take it in and get our completion reward this weekend. And we're going to be ready for display day.
That's fantastic. Are you still enjoying the process?
Yeah, of course. It's been pretty chill to just sit down and spend a night each night going through the trim on one dude.
Yeah, it can be quite a process. You start to hit that deadline and you really hyper focus on it. Some people end up liking it a bit less because they feel a bit forced. Other people not so much because they're like, oh, I'm actually really getting into a flow here. Cool.
Yeah, but it's been very good. I can't complain at all.
What's left on your list? What's the last thing to paint?
I need to finish my Demon Prince, and then that's it.
Not your casino cannon, the Chaos Vindicator?
No. That Chaos Vindicator is going to be in Iron Warriors colors very soon.
Gee, I should have seen that coming.
But how's your hobbying been while you've been overseas?
Well, my hobby makes me look like I'm some purchasing director for my own shop, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it does.
I, really had to get a little bit creative with how I packed my stuff because I just had all these Warhammer boxes that I just bought while I was overseas for like 5 weeks.
Oh, damn.
I had a family member that snagged up a couple of boxes from a local game store that was actually not a gaming store, a bookstore that was getting rid of their Warhammer stuff. And so things were like 40-ish% off RRP. And they're like, oh, Josh is into that. He's coming around soon. I'll buy these couple of boxes that are just sitting here. Why not?
Nice.
And so I got those. And then I was starting to feel a little bit cheeky and think, ooh, maybe I should buy myself like an Age of Sigmar spearhead and like start this chain reaction through our game group. And then literally the morning of me thinking to go to the shops, you send me this photo of an Age of Sigmar spearhead, or at least the start of your army. And I'm like, God damn it.
Beat you to it.
Beat me to it. So then, of course, I went and bought one. So I bought a Ideneth Deepkin.
Nice. And that makes player 4.
Yeah. And then at the very end of my trip, I was thinking I want to buy a little character or something, get a Fugan for my Eldari maybe. And I go to the city I'm in's local Warhammer store. And would you believe it, Johnny? They were closed for lunch.
Of course, that's my natural instinct when I go to a Warhammer store is it happens to be during their lunchtime.
Yeah. And there was 4 guys hanging around the doorway.
Oh God.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, I can wait. Whatever. But then I noticed that literally the shop next to it, sharing a wall, was another gaming shop. But from where I was standing, I could only see that they did MTG, Disney, Lorcana, that kind of stuff. Some board games. That's all I could see from outside. But I walk in and the whole, the wall I mentioned they shared was from one end of the building, down what seemed to be half a city block of just Warhammer. And not Warhammer shops where they display all their boxes facing out. So you see all the pretty, painted model. They had it books on a shelf. So almost every faction for Sigma, for 40k, had almost their entire range in stock.
Oh my lord.
And they had codices in both German and English. They had little blister characters hanging off from pegs in front of where their armies were. It's hey, look over here, it's the Eldari, And then they had a whole shelf for 20 plus kill teams and all the data cards. They had box sets, army sets, battle forces from previous years that were further discounted because they were still there. And they even had a whole section for Horus Heresy. I've been into Warhammer stores several times and I've never seen so much Horus Heresy IRL. I was like, what the frick?
Sounds like my kind of place.
And because it was a third-party shop, they had, discounts. And I'm like, I like the Warhammer store just being there. It's like a McDonald's, If you need a Warhammer store, it's the same thing wherever you go. But they never had what I actually want. And this store had, too many things I wanted.
Oh.
And it was next door. And I'm scratching my head. I'm like, are they going to get a lawsuit? This can't be good for the the shop next door. But yeah, that's my hobby. And I started building some stuff yesterday, but I've only been back for 3 days.
Yeah, chill out. Take your time. It's no stress.
But yeah, I just wanted to share that anecdote. I've already said it with you, but I wanted to share it with the audience.
Oh,
be hot
sure.
damn.
Yeah. So, being your first recording back in this country, what topic are we thinking of doing today to warm up the return?
Well, I wanted to be a lazy cretin for once, Johnny. And as soon as you mentioned that you had an idea, I was like, yeah, cool, no worries. So you might actually have to talk people through what we're going to be doing today.
in between all of the codex releases and this very like staged kind of recording content, we wanted to do something a little more chill today, a little more in touch with what we started with and a bit more personal. So the idea is to go through all of the different game types that Games Workshop makes and sit down and discuss what army/faction we would play if we were to start playing that game today.
So, for you and I, who have stuff for some of these games, are we approaching this from the perspective of we don't own anything at all and we're getting into it today, hypothetically? Or is this like, well, we've got like X, Y, and Z, but what's going to be W, you know?
I believe it's more a case of we have X, Y, and Z, so what is next?
Yeah.
The more personal of like, what could we consider starting next? With everything we know of the games we have played, the ones we haven't, what looks cool, and just a very casual discussion on what we think looks cool out there to us, what we would consider starting. Just chill out and have some fun. And I've got 11 different games for you.
11 games.
Over, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different, I guess, worlds within their lore.
Major games, I suppose.
Yeah, so we've got the major games and their offshoots and their skirmishes and whatever else is involved. But yeah, that's the plan for today.
I like it. I love these episodes. It's really chill.
Yeah, and there's not as much prep to do. We get to just talk about cool looking stuff. But with that, Joshy.
Jonny.
You have Necrons.
Yep.
You have Space Marine. You have Adeptus Sororitas.
Yep.
And now you have Eldari.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly, right? And while Eldari is
Hot damn.
kind of what you're looking at next, if you were to start a new army today, would it be Eldari? Or is there something else you've got your eye on that you might have been interested in?
Ooh, that's a really good question. You're flexing a bit of a reporter journalist angle with that question, I must say. The thing about Eldari, and especially my personal collection of Eldari, is Eldari's been around long enough that the faction itself has a few different avenues of collection. You've got, for example, the Guardian Militia with some like War Walkers and gun platforms, and to an extent, the Farseers and the Warlocks running around with them. You've got the Wraith Constructs. You've got, heck, all of the Aspect Warriors. You could even lean into a vehicle-focused list if you're starting to go into the older school Forge World models. Heck, there's Harley Quinns that are folded in. There's a lot of angles. And my collection is approximately 300 to 400 points of each of what I just said.
It's kind of the what you like out of everything, right?
This is probably one of the first times I've actually not thought super hard about a synergy list, which is quite odd for me, and just went with like, that's a cool model.
Collecting like you would if you were still in your early teens.
Yeah, more or less. That plus the fact that my favorite, aspect of the army is all the newer stuff and therefore the most expensive stuff. The Aspect Warriors. If I was to hard commit to an army, I actually own surprisingly little of the Aspect Warriors and the Phoenix Lords. So if I was to stay in the realms of Eldari, I would probably go down that path. But since I've pretty much built all of my models
that you didn't just buy,
I have like only 300-ish points to build. It's a little negligible. It's a little negligible. I think it's more of a safe answer for this type of hypothetical to be like, yeah, Eldari.
Oh, we've got 10 more games to go through, so don't stress too much about a safe pick. But if there is something else you want to talk about, go for it.
Well, when you asked about this like a week ago, I did have something that came to my brain rather quickly.
Oh, go on.
You know me by now, Jonny. You know I love to pick hard-to-play armies of, quite frankly, a T3 average, infantry body.
Yep.
I like to make things hard for myself.
You sure do.
What does that sound like to you?
That sounds like you're going all in on one of two things. My follow-up question is it something that you already have modeled? for.
Yes and no.
Do they have an army rule?
Yes.
So it's not Imperial agents.
Correct.
Is this GSC?
Ding, ding, ding.
Haha, I do know you.
For the Four-Armed Emperor, Johnny. But the reason why I really like the idea of GSC is because they tend to have these soupy options that I am quite interested in. We've talked about it before in our Grotmus list building episode, where I ran the final day where the Genestealer cults are allied with Vanguard Tyranid models, or the sneaky lithe bioforms. That's really appealing to me. But there's also an argument to be made about a bunch of mutant miners running around with a Bane blade.
Ooh, that's spicy.
So, yeah, a little bit of maybe a bunch of kit bashy Cadians and Kriegsmen and stuff. Couple of like tanks that maybe kit bashed into something else. Some Tyranids running around. Make it really like a kit bashy army. And I think that's what I would pick.
Nice, dude. No, that's a really interesting choice.
Thank you.
My 40k next army.
It looks cool, so I want it.
Yeah, basically.
It's a good reason. You have to like what you're getting into.
Yep, and I'm really enjoying this second wave of Leagues of Votann models.
I knew it. I had a feeling.
I will be honest, when the first wave of Votann models came out, my first thought is I will never touch this pile ever.
Yep,
they felt very Martian-y. I didn't like all the bubbles. Everything kind of felt samey, and they didn't have a lot going for them. Outside of Grimnir, because I can't go wrong with a wizard. But this second wave makes the army feel so much more whole. It's got so much more personality with the Earthshakers. Buri is such a cool model. The Ironkin models are sick. Like, they feel so much more fleshed out. And even, like, the Hankin Jaegers with their little cloaks are so cute. I absolutely adore this army now, and I think if I had to start another army, this is probably the one I'm picking.
Yep. I'm a little scared for the future of your wallet now that you've got this idea.
No, this is not a 10th edition army for me, even though they just got a codex.
Not saying 10th edition.
This is a future potential. Not yet. We'll wait. I'm not that ready to start a whole new army when I've almost finished this one and have another one ready to go.
You're talking about Thousand Suns as something you're at the present point wrapping up?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's not going to be a 2026 New Year, New Army challenge, is it?
I can't answer that question at this time.
Could be an 11th edition.
There's speculation we might be getting 11th edition next year.
Don't know how I feel about that, but it's quite likely.
I don't like the idea, I won't lie. Imagine you're Drukhari or Imperial Knights and you get your codex for like 6 months.
Well, that happened with 9th edition.
Mm-hmm. It sure did. And I didn't like it back then either. It felt bad for those people.
We'll talk about it perhaps in another episode, reviewing 10th, predicting 11th, yada who.
Yeah. But that is 40k.
I like it.
As a whole.
What sort of direction, is there a direction of Votann that you are thinking of going down? Like, have you read any of the detachments? Is there a play style that appeals to you?
I haven't had a chance to look through their codex yet, but I really like the Brokir Thunderkin with their like exosuits and the Ironkin.
Okay.
As the main things that I like. And obviously Buri, because that guy's sick. But I would probably focus around those sort of units. Maybe go for something a little more robotic / miney and focus on a little bit more of the mining side of things with like the Earthshakers.
Oh yeah. Bit of everything. Cool.
Yeah. But that brings us to our first skirmish game, following through with the 40k beginnings.
40k. We love kill
team.
just spoiled it. Whoops.
Let's talk kill team.
I was meant to say, like, yeah, we love 40k. I'm just looking at Kill Team and it just slipped out.
Kill Team is next, and honestly, I'm pretty excited for the near future of Kill Team over the next couple of months / 6 months-ish.
Yeah.
I won't lie, the new train looks very cool. What they have spoiled of this new season looks very cool.
Oh, man. Were you reading all the community articles, like, sentence by sentence, when they announced a couple of things officially?
I may have, yes.
Gosh, the Warhammer community team was so pissed off that things that are probably releasing early next year at the earliest got leaked.
Yeah, and then they were forced to jump the gun. There's this big thing, like, it's rough, and unfortunately, it seems like it may have just been a mistake, but, you know, once it's out there, it spreads like wildfire so quickly.
So what are we talking about specifically?
The Raptors spoil and
and the Celestians.
And the Celestians.
And the Nightbringer.
Yep. The fact that it was their end of season, like, big deal and it all got spoiled and now they had to release it reveal it early is rough. And there's a lot of confusion out there as well with people unsure, like, unaware that these models aren't coming for another, 6 months. That this wasn't meant to be revealed yet. Instead, they had to reveal it in a Warhammer community article instead of revealing it in some cool reveal show they were probably gonna do.
Yeah, all because some leaked photos appeared in, like, a Spanish rulebook that was, you know, potato cameraed into Reddit and Imager, and people are like, hold on, are those Raptors? Are those Celestians? Is that the frickin' Nightbringer? And it just got too much traction to the point where they had to do this article, and on their roadmap, they've got the one that's just come out, Kill Team Tomb World, with the Death Watch and the Necrons. Then there's a blank for what's next. But then the one after that has been fully announced. Like, that's how far ahead it's gotten leaked. That's, ugh.
Feels bad. Like, we missed out on what could have been a very cool reveal for what ended up just being a Warhammer article.
All because someone couldn't keep their potato camera in their pants.
Right. But Kill Team is something that we are potentially considering as a playgroup in the near future.
Oh, still?
Well, I want to push towards some skirmish games.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Partially to, speed up games, but also, introduce something a little different.
Okay. What are you thinking?
Oh, what am I thinking? Well,
what are you thinking?
There's the obvious pick, which is the Kill Team sitting right in front of me, built, ready to go.
You have one?
I do, and I'm sorry. This is going to sound very samey, but it's Hernkin Jaegers.
Well, color me shocked.
Again, part of me being like, I think the new League of Vodan stuff was cool, is I decided to pick up the Kill Team that I thought is cool for this army as a foot in the door tester to see if it's actually something I'll enjoy.
Yeah.
So I decided Hernkin Jaegers over the Hearthkin Salvages because I think the cloaks are cool.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, I'm pretty keen to give them a try. From what I have read and seen, they are rather underperforming, but I don't care. Because what is meta and what is casual is totally different, as we've seen vastly in our playgroup.
Oh, yeah.
So I try not to think too much about that, but they've got a fun little gameplay style that could be quite interesting. So you'll just have to wait and see what happens, eh? I do want to honorably mention the Raptors. They are not coming out yet and won't be for a while, but I just have to say on the record that I called it back at the start of the edition that I wanted a Warp Talon / Raptors kill team, and now we're getting one, and my dreams have been answered. And the models are very nice. I'm very happy with what they did.
I'm a big fan of the Chaos Lord.
Yes. But I think they did a very good job, and if Raptors were out, they would 100% be what I would be wanting to play, but from what I gather, so is half of our playgroup.
Yeah, but you you have other kill teams.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Like, you don't just have Hernkin or Need Raptors. Like, you've got, like, what, 3 other kill teams?
I may or may not have 3 to 4 kill teams available right now.
What? Felgors?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 now. I don't have Felgors.
Oh, you proxied them, didn't you? For a game.
Yeah. But I do have Chaos Legionaries. I do have the Night Lords kill team, Hearthkin Jaegers, and the Chaos Cultists. And technically Thousand Suns.
Technically.
Well, I have all the stuff for it.
True. You've played most of them, like, at least in the previous edition of Kill Team,
In
right?
the previous edition of Kill Team, yes.
Who's been your favorite to play?
It's a hard choice between Legionaries and Chaos Cultists. I think the Chaos
true.
Cultists are a lot of fun, and there's a lot of potential strategy, but I think the Legionaries are just better. There's something about having 3 activations that just 3 action points that's just so much easier to mentally manage than 2.
Yeah, I get that.
But this Hearthkin Jaegers kill team is definitely a 2 AP kill team that I will be having to try and work around. But with the ability, they have the ability to get another extra activation on the occasion. So there's a little bit of play.
Yeah.
Your history in kill team is a little more specific.
Just a little.
You currently own 1 kill team?
Nope. 2.5.
2?
2.5.
I know you have half an Inquisitorial Agents, but that's not counting right now. Who's the second? Because I know you've got Harlequins.
Corsairs, Johnny. Corsairs.
That's right. I forgot you got Corsairs.
Yeah, I got Corsairs to be my 3rd edition kill team army. I already answered the question before we did an episode, but I haven't played it.
Because we haven't had the chance. I think in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to try and organize a kill team session on our weekends.
Ooh, love that.
Even if it's just a primer to go through the rules and play like a quick little game to kind of get people the hang of what's going on, / get the rules locked in my brain.
I don't think it'll be too difficult.
It's not. The only key thing is there's a few things we need that we don't have.
Equipment?
Specifically like the ladders and shit. There's like
for
extra
the new season terrain.
the new season like little barricades and stuff.
Right.
But it would be super easy to proxy or work that out with what we've got. But is your answer still Corsairs?
Like for the intention of grabbing Corsairs to play, I guess so. But Kill Team is, a really fun example of small scale games where you only need to buy like 1 unit and you can play.
Yeah.
There are some kill teams like Chaos Cold and Imperial Agents that you need a couple of other boxes to mesh together. But for the most part, you just buy a kill team and you go with it. So if there is something you like, you don't need a whole army. And most of the kill teams, in my opinion, cook. They all look pretty fab.
They really do. Like the new Raveners are very cool looking models.
The only kill team that's released in recent releases that I'm just don't care for, and it's not anything about the models themselves, it's just not my cup of tea, are the Rattlings. The little hobbits from the Imperial Guard.
They don't do anything for me either.
They're just not for me. But like there are so many kill teams that I would be happy to go out today and buy and play. If I was to pick one, it would be the Deptus Arbites, the Judge Dredd looking fellows that have been put into like 3 video games recently.
Nice, dude.
And I will eventually be grabbing the Sororitas Celestians.
Not the Sanctifiers?
If I did grab the Sanctifiers, I think I would try and lightly kit bash them to not be a bunch of greasy dudes and actually make them, for the most part, like a female procession using some of my Sororitas heads.
Yep, that's fair.
But, the Sanctifiers is a really cool idea. I'm just not interested in them more than, say, the Arbitus or waiting for Celestians.
Yeah, and as you said, I think the big draw to Kill Team is you buy a box and that's your entire army ready to go. So you can always make it a weekend project or something like that if you wanted to try something different, And at the same time, if you've got a few people in your playgroup that all have 2 or 3 kill teams, like, there's no reason you can't chop and change and try something new and see how it goes, right?
Yeah, we've brought friends along and we're like, this is a Tyrannid. Play this.
And now, Tyranids have a kill team again.
Woohoo!
Cries in Custodes.
You know what? Have you noticed something with the season of Kill Team? So we got Tomb World, which has the Death Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Death Watch are the auto militant for the auto Xenos. We've had a Sororitas kill team announced in the near future. They are the militant wing of the auto Hereticus. What if, Johnny, through gritted teeth, the second box features the militant wing of the auto Malleus, the demon hunting Grey Knights?
Ooh, a Grey Knight kill team might pique my interest. The real question would be, which demons do you think they would fight? Or would it be like a mixed conglomerate?
I was thinking for something like Kill Team, it would be a mixed conglomerate.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, right?
Having like a pink horror, a blue horror, a bloodletter, a couple of nurglings, maybe a poxbringer or, something like that. And yeah, that actually sounds like a lot of fun.
And then on the announcement article, they're like, all of these models is just a sample pack for what's to come. And all Chaos Demons, like 25 fans, like, yay!
Take offense to that as a Chaos Demons fan.
Hey, I've made the list for half the demons that exist. I'm with you. I like demons.
But no, that's Kill Team, and honestly, I'm pretty excited for what they're doing. And I think if we were going to pick one skirmish game, I would probably choose Kill Team, if not one of the ones we'll discuss a little later.
Yeah. Does this mean we're going to go now talking about another game, or did you have a question for me?
No, I was hoping we could move on to the next one.
Let's move on to the next one, Johnny.
Because this is one that you are very interested in.
Yay! Necromunda.
Yes, my boy, you got me.
Necromunda! Necromunda! What if you had Kill Team, and Kill Team walks into a bar and meets a tabletop RPG, and they decide to fall in love and have a little love child of game design? Well, let me introduce you to Necromunda, a game where you basically have to build out a roster of models. The models have attributes and traits and war gear that they purchase from, like, quite literally, like, shops in between missions. You have base building. There's a little bit of, like, devastating blows and out of action tests, kind of like a crusade, like a D&D game. It's got a lot of my favorite things going on all at once, Jonathan.
All right, when are we starting?
I feel like this is the game out of all of the games that is going to require the most research before we could actually begin.
This is the game that, yes, I would start in a heartbeat if we could get enough people interested.
Good luck.
That is 100%. Necromunda's the granddad of these games. That's all of the fluff and all of the lore, but I haven't even begun to think about the rules.
We would have to start with maybe one of the box sets, which actually has rules kind of put in, and so maybe some sample missions to just get our head around the system
before introducing other people.
There's a couple of box sets that are available at the moment. You have Hive War, which is the bread and butter of Necromunda, the gang warfare in the streets of a hive city.
Yep.
You'll see on YouTube people putting together entire towers of scrap and, upcycled kid toys and stuff like that, just to make this janky, cyberpunky city. And that's kind of what you could build towards with a play group. But you could buy the classic looking board gamey setups in the shops today and get started. But they do have expansions every couple of years that adds another element. The most recent one that you and I have talked about before on this podcast is Hive Secundus, which is a dungeon diving version of Necromunda, where you kind of push your team to go deeper into a ruined hive city for treasure.
Yeah, man, this sounds like an absolute blast.
But who would you pick, Johnny? It's probably going to be based on looks alone at this stage, isn't it?
Not completely.
Not completely.
We've had this discussion before, so I do know which gang I would like to play based on rules as well, a little bit, like play style. But I do have an honourable mention for this, which is that rule of cool.
Yeah.
So, to give the honourable mention first, I am a big fan of the Melstrain Gene Stealer cult for this.
Yep.
I think they have some absolutely gory as hell models, and it's the only game I could see myself being like, yeah, Tyranids. And you get this cool, like, Adeptus you get this cool Dark Mechanicum vibe guy who's in charge of it all.
Lord Hermiatus.
And he has a little pet Gene Stealer that he's patting. Like, if I was picking based on looks alone, Heartbeat, Melstrain.
Yep.
But, because I have done the research, and I have looked into playstyles, the gang I would actually choose is the Goliath gang.
Ah, still on the Goliath train.
Yeah,
Cool.
I like the idea of having the big, brutish guys that just don't care about your guns. They're just going to run at you. It gives Juggernaut from the Marvel Universe vibes, and I'm kind of there for it.
Yeah, really not tricky at all. Just go.
They're like
just run.
tricks. No, we just charge.
Yeah, I did look at the Goliath gang. They look meaty and appropriately tough.
And I think they look really cool. So, yes, if I was starting a gang, it would be the Goliath gang.
Cool.
And for you?
For me, I also have an honorable mention, mainly because they were what I was thinking of before my actual mention got their like proper, rule book and like their expansiony stuff, other units, war gear, etc.
For a moment there, I thought it was going to be something new. And then it all clicked in my brain that, yep, I know exactly what you're going to say here. But go ahead.
Not new for your brain. I really like the Van Saar gang. The people running around with the high tech, the guns, the hoverboards, the energy shields. That's cool.
It's super cool.
In a setting where everyone's a little bit rough around the edges, a bit scrappy, Van Saar are the bougie kids on the block with their plasma guns and future tech, and that's a pretty cool separation of aesthetic for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to give it to the Ashwaste Nomads.
Yeah, you do.
These guys are really fun. They were introduced with the sort of the outdoors expansion, where some people got things such as vehicles in the forms of like, bikes for the most part. And there was a bit more of an open setting with like big buildings with little gantries between them. And the Nomads were there, but they didn't really interact super well with the core game mode of the Hive City takeovers and, street crime, street fighting. But they did get a rule book, like a big hardcover bound book with like a war gear packet, some other units. And I would, be surprised if they did not interact with them or like all the games. Still, I would be surprised.
Yeah. And frankly, they are very flavorful looking dudes. I'm a big fan of the Ashwaste Nomads. I think they look very cool. They give me that like wasteland vibe of just like nomadic people. I really like it.
Yeah, they're nomadic people that sort of train up beasts of the Ashwaste, except the beasts in particular are like Australian wildlife, but the size of horses. So that's also something pretty cool that I've not done before from a hobbying perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's Necromunda, eh?
Yeah, without knowing anything about how the game plays, there's not a lot we can really discuss, right?
There is something that, you can put together with their relatively frequent releases and announcements is that Necromunda does have a hired gun system. Name of the video game they released recently. Hired guns and hanger-ons and bounty hunters are like quite literally like independent models that can be, purchased with like dollars to be added to your forces.
Yeah.
So you're not like
bounty
always
hunters.
limited. Yeah, you're not always limited to like Goliaths or Ashwaste. You could put, the medic in. You could put the bounty hunter with a third arm and a pistol in each of them in your army. You can do a little bit.
Yeah, super cool.
It's fun. What's next, Greg?
Well, that covers 40k.
Sure does.
So, do you want to stick sci-fi, or shall we take a dip into the fantasy realms?
Let's take a dip into the fantasy realms.
So, the current game mode that is supported in the fantasy realm of Warhammer is Age of Sigmar, and as we kind of alluded to earlier in this episode, is something that we are looking to dip our toes in.
Doing it. Yeah, we pretty much started this episode already.
Yep, without really having to say too much. My pick is Caradron Overlords because I like boats. And one of my favourite sayings at the moment is, "Where are the clouds, Josh?"
The same location as the sea, I guess.
Yeah, right. To the point where
Off the board.
I named my AOS list, "Where are the clouds, Josh?"
I named my list Under the Sea. But like in Sebastian from The Little Mermaid's voice.
So I chose Caradron Overlords before I knew what they did. I was really interested in bubble boats and bubble boys.
Bubbles!
And then I found out that they're the Tau army of this game, and they're the ones that Warhammer doesn't know how to balance properly because they don't really know what they do because they're a shooting army in a game of punches.
Aren't they the only army with transports as well?
Correct.
Oh, Johnny, making life hard for us all.
I brought 40k into the Age of Sigmar.
This is quite hilarious. Quite a hilarious turn of events.
Right? But I'm not mad by this discovery, and I'm actually pretty interested to throw a list together and see how it works. And I made my 2k list, and I don't know if it's good. Like, I just don't know enough to know if what I chose is good, but I did choose the stuff I like the look of.
That's the key ingredient to having a fun time. From what I can tell, Sigmar is not nearly as meta-bound as 40k is if you're trying to win a game. So it should be fine, Johnny.
And I definitely was like, I want one of each boat. That was my starting point.
Hell yeah. Yep.
And then from there I was like, how do I list build in this game? And I kind of just threw some stuff together and we'll see what sticks. But I'm super excited. The only reason I haven't started painting this army is because I told myself I would get Thousand Suns done first.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I have built over 1,000 points of models and they are ready.
Oh, did you also buy the spearhead?
No.
No, I knew you bought the Regiment of Renown. I didn't know you bought something else, Johnny.
Remember the part where you sent a message in our chat being like, hey, look, guys, those new spearheads are on special at the moment.
Oh,
and I was like, oops.
Oops. Oh,
Purchase.
that's right. There was an Australian online retailer that had them on a flash sale. That's right.
So, yes, I now have 2 boats.
I have such sway over our game group after all.
But Joshy, where are you going in Age of Sigmar and why is it Under the Sea?
Under the Sea. I have friends with me. I am doing Ideneth Deepkin because I've never done something aquatic themed before.
They have such cool models.
They're one of the lesser played and collected factions in Sigmar, for what I can tell,
which is shocking.
I think they look a little maybe like intimidating, you could say, because they got a lot of like different textures and funky bases with all the little fishies. But I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. But it does feel like I've gone into something a little obscure, right? It feels like I've gone into this sort of niche end of the hobbying.
Yeah.
And it feels really cool. Feels cool to be like, wow, I've got sharks, I got eels, I got underwater raiders. I think I have a big turtle that I could buy, and big turtle seems really cool.
Big turtle is really cool. I'm a big fan of Octopus Guy.
Oh, Lotan, Warden of the Soul Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really like the look of this army. The fact that their terrain piece is just a sunken ship is so cool.
Yeah, right.
I think it's going to be a really cool little painting challenge for you because there's going to be so many different textures and elements going on in this list.
Not sponsored, but there is a painting company I came across called Turbo Dork, and a lot of their like paints are color shifting paints.
Oh.
I'm thinking of grabbing a few of those. I've already got my color palette. I've picked out 4 or 5 paints already, Johnny.
Oh.
And I'm thinking of doing a couple of tester models with them and kind of refining if I need to. But I want all of my aquatic under the sea, deep sea raiders to have this like hard to look at as if you are trying to look through the water, because they do fight on the land. They're amphibians. They breathe water and they breathe oxygen.
Yeah.
But they're mages, like specifically the tidecasters, can actually like bring the ocean with them a little bit. It's a magically controlled part of the ocean they call the Ether Sea. They bring it with them. So in gameplay, they're a bit of a Drakari army, a kind of freakily fragile army.
You know, I do see it. When you look at the models, I see Drakari too.
Yeah, they run really hard. Sorry, wrong way around. They run really fast and they hit really hard, but they're quite fragile.
Yep.
And in lore, they supplement that fact with bringing the sea with them. And so their enemies are like, help, I can't swim.
That's so cool. No, I think this is a really cool army, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. And it sounds like we're the good guys, Josh.
Oh my god.
You and me, we play an order while everyone else is in chaos and death and destruction.
Ooh, I have to be a little bit of that actually guy. I don't think Deepkin are that nice.
Well, Sylvaneth also aren't, and they're in the order too.
But do you get why they're called order?
It's the civilized people, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the whole shtick, is they're the civilized races.
They build
For
things.
now, Josh, we are the good
We're
guys,
the good
right?
mob.
I've never not been
Sure.
the good. I've never been the good guys.
You owned like half of all the chaos armies of 40k.
Right?
Right?
That I didn't pick a
Man.
chaos army.
I didn't pick aliens.
I mean,
Not that I could have.
they're pretty alien-like. They come from a different ocean.
We'll do a Deepkin episode one day. They're not aliens, they're people too.
It's super cool. Like, it's weird being in the Order faction as opposed to the Chaos faction, but I'm
You
kind of
almost did it,
excited
though.
for it. I was close. But that brings
Yeah.
us to their version of skirmish gaming,
Warcry.
Warcry, which is a little more list buildy from what I gather.
Seems to be.
Yeah, you buy individual dudes.
Yeah, you've got a box which builds things and you have to sort of pick and choose.
They have these, like, starter boxes they used to do, which were like, this is everything you need to play Warcry, which they kind of folded into their spearheads as well. But they've really opened Warcry up into a small list build. Everything costs, like, 80 to 300 points-ish per model, and you buy individual guys, which means that in your spearhead, you just have a lot more options for what you can kind of run and include. But for this, I did choose Kharadron Overlords as an overlap, mainly because
Do they have a Warcry?
not technically, but there are options.
Oh, they have a compendium?
Yeah, you can build a list with them, and that it was mainly because I have the models and I don't know enough about Warcry to understand, and finding information online is surprisingly difficult for this game at the moment.
They've kind of took it out of the public view.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gearing up for a new edition or if it just wasn't selling, so they're keeping it to an online only thing. But if you go on Warcry Reddit, people adore this game. They say this is the greatest game Games Workshop's ever put together from like a rules packet.
Jeez, okay. Maybe I need to look more into this.
Yeah, for the longest time, they were releasing, as they do with Kill Team, like a dual box every few months.
Yep.
And then eventually they put them into single boxes, and you could get something new and fun like we do with Kill Team, just like buy a box, have a team, like every few months. But now everything's online only. They don't really have them in the actual stores.
Yep.
Some of them have been discontinued only to be bundled into the basic game like Age of Sigmar's Spearhead start boxes because you can play them in both.
Yep.
To the point where sometimes the rules for these models are better in Sigmar than in Warcry. So sometimes.
I mean, 40k and Kill Team can sometimes have a little bit of that.
Yeah. So it's a bit hard to sort of actually recommend this game.
It's in a weird spot.
Yeah, to a general hobby group, I wouldn't recommend this, but you can buy a rulebook. They do have PDFs, support pretty routinely.
Yep. Do you have a Warcry warband that you would consider?
Sure. The one I always wanted
was
sold out from the moment I learnt about this game, and has never come back.
Oh. Is this the lizard folk?
No, but they would be my second pick, and they've been discontinued in favor of becoming a spearhead.
Okay, so we're talking Daughters of Cain, right?
So, Daughters of Cain, Cainite Shadowstalkers do exist, and only in like the last couple of weeks were put back into stock. For the longest time, they were kind of hard to come by. They're a bit older, but they are back, so I could get them. Cainite Shadowstalkers. Hunters of Huanchi were the little skinks for the Seraphon, like the lizard folk. I loved these guys, and they've been turned into a spearhead-only purchase from what I can tell.
Yep.
My original favorite was the Slaneshi Chaos cult known as the Unmade.
Ooh. I have to say, the Cainite Shadowstalkers look very cool.
Oh, yeah. If you've never seen the Unmade, little bit of a trigger warning, these guys are a little bit body horror. Just a little bit. And my fingers are not close together.
Oh. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys. I remember now.
Yeah. So, in the very first edition of Warcry, before it kind of became a kill teamy thing, Warcry's whole shtick was a bunch of chaos cultists non-aligned, doing their very best to get the favor of the gods.
Yep.
So everything that released was kind of a chaos cult of some description. The Unmade are a Slaneshi pain cult. The higher up you go in this cult, the more you amputate your limbs and replace them with like splints and metallic blades, and you rip your own face off and wear it as a belt. It's not good. It's not good at all. But because they have a little bit of a Slaneshi thing, the more they do this, the more they kind of get like juiced up. The more they start to have like little visions, you know?
Yep.
But unfortunately, they didn't win Warcry Season 1. The Dark Oath fucking did. So there's no Unmade models to buy anymore.
But there are Dark Oath. Alright, well that's Warcry. I don't know if there's much else I can say about Warcry. Is there anything else you want to say about this game?
Really cool single-release terrain pieces, must admit. They have some really fun terrain. That's it. That's all I got to say.
For sure. Alright, that brings us to the current I like the look of this game.
This is your hotness.
Yeah, this is Age of Sigmar meets board game in the world of the Underworlds. This is what I have really had my eye on in the last, 12 months-ish? Since they kind of launched this relaunch of the game, and they continue to support it with occasional releases. I would very quickly start this game as well, as like a single, similar in the way Kill Team works, where you buy a box and you're good to go. Only they also released like boxes that have 4 teams in them.
Yeah, the old ones. They're coming back.
The old ones, which I think is a really cool way to get started. You could buy like the starter box and one of those, and you'd have access to like 6 different Underworlds teams to use.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a very quick way to get your playgroup into the game if they were interested.
You would think, wouldn't you?
Hence the if they were interested part.
Johnny, no.
But no, I'm pretty interested to give Underworlds a go. And this is where I go chaosy in the world of AOS, because I still have my eye on the Ephelim's Pandemonium, which is the Disciples of Tzeentch Demons Underworlds warband, and I think the models are just so much fun.
Our game group is very chaos pilled anyway. Obviously you can't really just like be like, hey everybody, we're gonna invest in a new game. Like you don't do that. But if we were to get like our particular group on board to such a thing, it's actually a relatively cheap game. You do have to buy like card packs, I guess, to sort of supplement a deck building aspect to this board game. But besides that, like I'm looking on the Australian Warhammer website, $165 for a collection of 4 warbands. That's like a unit and a half in 40k.
Yeah.
That's not even a unit and a character these days. And you get 4 warbands. Like most of our players are chaos. It'll be like, this one's for you, this one's for you, this one's for me, this one's for you. Done.
Yeah, and as I was mentioning, like if we picked up the starter kit, which gives you Skaven and Stormcast Eternals, whose name always escapes me, and then we picked up Despoilers and Demons, and then we have access to a Slanesh kill team, a Tzeentch one, Slaves to Darkness, and a Cornate one, I believe it is.
Sure is.
It sure is.
In the second release bundle of these Grand Alliance multi-packs, the Order one has like my 3 factions all in one.
Yeah, right.
But the Chaos one actually does have a Nurgle one. And I know Zach is actually on board with that.
Man, that boy is so Nurgle-pilled.
Last episode that was released was a Nurgle Forces episode with me and Zach.
Yep.
And before we recorded, he's like, I can talk about other things. We don't have to do Nurgle. I'm like, psh, it's okay. Nurgle's given me permission to drag you in again.
No, it's funny.
Shout out to Zach. I know he's listening.
But also, what do you pick? Which one do you want? You've got a couple that you were interested in the past.
Oh, this one's going to be easy because I just have to pick from a box of 4 that we're probably going to buy. This one's easy. It's going to be the Dread Pageant, the Slaneshi mob from the Despoilers and Demons box. That's mine. Not even going to let anyone fight me for it. It's just mine.
No, done.
If we were picking up the order box, I'm grabbing the Ideneth with the Crab Guy, the Crab Boy, the bestest boy.
That's right. There's a Crab Boy.
When we did our big reaction to whatever live show it was recently, we were going pretty mental over the whole Underworlds thing, and we actually said we'd get into it when I got back from my holiday.
Uh-oh.
So,
Uh-oh.
They gonna have another board combo box coming out, which isn't gonna replace Emberguard, but I think it's just gonna be like, as well as if you want like another board and some new cards and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like the look of the Centaurs for the Sylvaneth.
They look really cool. I dig them.
And they have the Hellsmiths of Hashut.
Yeah. Chaos Dwarves, who we do know at least a couple of people who are interested in the idea.
It's like Space Wolves all over again. Half of our grain group's like, oh yeah?
Yeah, right. Let them have them. They're cool, but they're not for me. I'll let someone else have that vibe.
Okay, Mr. Overlords. Do we want to move on to our lesser known games and just sort of bum rush through them?
Yeah, sure. So, Horus Heresy has 2 games, as does Old World, and then there is Lord of the Rings. So, focusing on Horus Heresy, you go in Loyalist, Imperium, Mechanicum. We already know the answer, don't we? You're gonna play Mechanicum.
I feel bad about this pick because I know you're also pretty interested in them.
Nah, they're all yours, boo.
Okay.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Right.
I think the Mechanicum have some very cool tanks.
Oh, you're going Solar Auxilia, aren't you?
No.
Oh, you heard that, did you?
I sure did. I do really like the range that Cult Mechanicum has, and I think it's a very good choice.
Thank you.
To the point where I already have some of their models.
You do, that's right.
The Tech Thralls. My cultists for my Chaos Knights. But no, I don't see. Do you want to talk about why you would want to play Cult Mechanicum?
Yeah, sure. I'm not a huge steampunk fan, but I love the concept of diesel punk, like Mad Max, you know, scrap-built vehicles. I love that stuff. I don't have really anything that's really scratched that itch, though, in terms of, like, video gaming, book reading. And then they came out with this, you know, plastic update to these Mechanica models, and I'm like, holy moly. I don't love the Tech Thralls personally. Like, I don't like servitors and
Yeah, no.
thralls, but as much as I do like them, I do, but I don't like them nearly as much as all these super sick walkers and battle tanks,
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the only reason I have the tech thralls is because they come in a box of 20.
Yeah, it's a really good deal.
For cultists, yes.
It's super good deal. Yeah, I love the Thanatar. I love the Karaknos. I love the Krios. I really love the idea of just having these diesel punky mages with their big battle automata. What's the... I'm looking through the shop now. There's a resin character, because not all of them are plastic.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Yep.
But there's a resin character. Not you.
Oh, it's not Anakara Scoria?
It's not Anakara Scoria, the dark mech guy. It's not him. Where is she? I swear she was released.
Maybe she's not out yet.
I'm pretty sure she was.
But you also get the weird dude sitting on a weird servitor throne. Archmagus Drakovec.
While I look her up, what were you going to pick?
I was going to take the Horus Heresy as my time to go back to the roots.
Necrons.
If only. I was thinking of doing Iron Warriors. Just basic Iron Warriors.
Really?
Yeah. I like the idea of having the Perturabo model because, frankly, I think it's a very cool looking model. But I really like what they're doing with the 30k, Warsmiths and all of the siege terminators and the getting the Iron Circle up and running, and having this kind of very tank heavy / dreadnought heavy sort of list and just focusing a lot on that from the very beginning. It's what I always wanted for CSM, but could never justify buying a bunch of tanks because they were constantly out of stock at the time. It would give me a good excuse to get a couple of Saturnines.
Ooh, they are really fun.
Yeah, really, and I would get the challenge of trying to paint hazard stripes.
Oh, found her. But yes, you keep going.
But yeah, so I was thinking of using it as the time to do the fluffy Iron Warriors list. Because in my heart, I do love an Iron Warriors.
Your heart is iron within?
Yes.
Iron without?
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, that was my pick, was Iron Warriors for this. And frankly, I think they have one of the cooler Contemptor Dreadnought heads.
It sure does.
It was them or Thousand Sons.
I think Thousand Sons haven't quite received the glow up yet with some characters.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I could finally have a reason to buy Peter Turbo.
Our favourite character from the book Horus Heresy, Angel Exterminatus, which we did a book club on a few weeks back.
Our favourite autistic Primarch.
He could have been so much happier if not for circumstance.
Man, if anyone had all the cards stacked against him and was innocent until proven guilty, it was Perturabo. That boy did not have to fall to chaos. And it was all Daddy Amp's fault.
Yep. What didn't Daddy Amp do wrong? Let's be real.
Perturabo is the real Magnus. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah. I did find the kit I was trying to find.
Oh, yeah?
That I think was like the straw that... Was it the straw that broke the camel's back? Is that the saying?
Yep.
For me wanting to get into Mechanicum. Like, just the art style of this era of the Tech Priest really calls to me. It's a resin character. She's called the Cuitor Magisterium.
Oh,
Do you see why I couldn't find her? Cuitor Magisterium.
Not spell that right, but... Oh, shit, I did spell it right. What do you mean she has a Warhammer listing but isn't showing up in their page?
Really?
She has a listing.
She didn't come up for me in the Mechanicum,
Same.
Overview.
But she has a listing.
And I'm looking right at her too.
Yeah. Oh, I love the little feather dude with the big quill and
yeah.
Nah, she's super cool.
Cool. Iron Warriors and Mechanicum. Ding ding.
Legions Imperialis.
Which is also a catch-all for some other games, but anyway.
Finally have somewhere I can play Titans.
Why did I not see it coming? You're going to pick Titans. Feels
Titan
so dumb.
Legions. I finally get to put big multi-$1,000 robots on the table without breaking my wallet.
I saw on Reddit the other day someone had a picture of the Legion Imperialis Cerastus Knights box, and it's just like, I want to buy these, but I feel like I'm going to get ripped off. Why is it so cheap?
And they're like, because they're tiny.
There's so many questions like that every day.
Yeah,
I'm kind of thinking,
I've seen them.
Warhammer need to put out like an FAQ magazine, like everywhere?
Oh, I saw one literally on Reddit like yesterday that was a War Master Titan, and someone was like, which knight is this meant to be? And it's just like, oh, you're in the wrong game.
You know what my favorite question is that I find on Reddit?
What?
Is Combat Patrol a good start to my army?
No. Oops, sorry, that came out really quickly.
I want to get started with Space Marine. Should I buy the Combat
No.
Patrol? Oh dear.
But
Oh dear.
Titans, Joshy. I finally can play with Titans.
You sure can.
There was no other option. Like, I didn't even
No.
have to think about this one.
No, you did not.
What about you?
Honestly, just because they're the only place you can get models for them, Dark Mechanicus.
Not gonna lie, they were my second pick.
The weird War of the Worldy crabs and spiders.
Yeah,
There's not that many models, but you can just borrow from the
Mechanicum.
Mechanicum. Otherwise, I don't know how much it actually interacts, but this game adopted Aeronautica Imperialis as well, which is a small-scale flying, vehicle dogfighter game. I don't know if you could do an Aeronautica-themed army, but that's also something I'd consider, because when do you run aircraft in 40k?
You can't. I mean, that depends who's playing. We have a friend with an aircraft. It drops off dreadnoughts. But that is leaving us with the last three. And to be honest, there's not a lot to say about the last three, in my honest opinion. These were the ones where I was like, I don't know anything about these games. I don't particularly care about collecting any of these games. But in the interest of having my hand forced and having to pick one, I have come up with an answer. With Old World, it has to be Grand Cathay because they're the only guys that have cool-looking models in the entire game. And I know that you would pick Skeleton Boys.
Yep, already talked about this.
Yep, and that's why we're just going to fire these off nice and quick. Blood Bowl, I don't know if you actually have an idea of what you would want.
Nope.
But I will say the Fire Mountain Gutbusters could be interesting. Not just for the name, but it's the Ogre's Blood Bowl. It's just got like a couple of big stompy dudes and then a bunch of little like grots running around. And I think that sounds like a cool little idea because I played Blood Bowl 1, the video game, so I have a general idea of how it plays and that sounds like fun.
I'm looking through Blood Bowl at the moment and like...
The models look terrible.
Actually, I would say a lot of them on average look better than the Old World offerings.
Oh, yeah.
They have so much personality.
They
I
do.
actually really like the Nurgle
team,
funnily enough. But I'm not going to step on our mate Zach's feet. I'm going to pick the Lizardmen instead.
Oh, yeah, the little skinks. And step on his feet there instead.
I just saw the character Glottal Stop, a big Sauron thing, or whatever it's called, for the Lizardmen. And he looks cool. So Lizardmen it is.
And then that brings us to Lord of the Rings, the game no one cares to talk about.
I have no idea what to do about this.
The only reason I have a pick is because I enjoy Lord of the Rings. Not the game, but the franchise. And I feel a little pilled. I would have to build the army of Rohan. I literally named my son after their king.
Why did I not see this coming? I'm really not, like, with it today.
I could literally buy the Theoden model.
Damn, dude.
Like, I didn't have a choice, really.
You really didn't.
But that's Lord of the Rings, and that's my whole reason why, is because, Rohan.
As a big nerd, I know surprisingly little about Lord of the Rings. I've watched all of the movies once, and the third one I actually slept through most of it. Whoops.
Wait, only once? Aren't you very good friends with someone who is also watching these movies annually? And has invited you over for the watching of these? Yeah,
so before I moved abroad for a few years, he got me in to watch these movies finally. I'm not a big movie watcher.
Bullshit.
No, haven't. Well, I had not, I should say.
Wow, no, the fact that you just said you're not a big movie watcher was the bullshit.
Well, I watch movies in the cinema. Very rarely do I actually watch movies like in my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I'm not watching it with somebody or I'm going to the cinema and sort of forcing it to occur, I really don't watch movies.
Shit, eh?
Yeah. So I hadn't really watched Lord of the Rings because neither of my parents were really into it. And so it wasn't like something as a kid that was just like put on, you know? Big sci-fi family though. So like Star Wars, Transformers, watched all of them to death.
Oh yeah, Star Wars to death as well. That's my sci-fi go-to.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, our good mate, who's got like a custom Lord of the Rings like tattoo on his arm.
Yeah, he is.
Was like, before you leave, we're watching these flippin' movies. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I really should, considering I'm a, D&D GM and a bit of a fantasy nerd sometimes. I'm like, I probably should fill in this gap in my cultural knowledge. So I go over and we watch the first movie, the second movie, and it's getting pretty late by this point.
Watching them all in one day was a mistake.
Well, I watched 1 and 2, and then he's like, we'll call it there, we'll go to sleep. And so I just, pass out on his couch. We woke up the next day. His wife like makes me a coffee, we get started, We start the third movie, and if you know me, I'm not a morning person.
No,
we get like 20 minutes. We get like 20 minutes into the third movie, and I pass out.
No, watching them all in one day was a mistake. Like, that was not the correct way to absorb them all.
That's fair, I get that. But like by the end of the second movie, like I was ready. I was ready to go. I was like, cool, let's do the third one. He's like, nah.
It's like 15 hours of content.
Yeah, well, we watched the third one the next day, except I passed out in 20 minutes. And then when I woke up again, the credits were rolling. And my friend's just there like, so what did you think?
Oh,
like,
God.
It was fun.
So we need to go back and watch the third one, do we?
Yeah, well, then when I was living abroad, we had a global freaking pandemic. And so my girlfriend and I just went through like various series of movies. And I was like, we should watch Lord of the Rings because, well, she wasn't a nerd at that time and hadn't watched those movies either. So I was using this to like watch them again so it would, fall into my brain.
Yeah.
And we get like halfway through the first movie, and as Sean Bean's being killed, she's like, I don't know, this is kind of boring.
Oh, it hurts my soul.
Yeah, it kind of did as well, because I'm like, this is a cultural linchpin, babe.
Yeah, you can't... Oh, nah. All right, yep, okay.
We could try those movies again. When we were first together, like, she never grew up with, like, the geeky cultures.
Yeah.
Now it's a bit different. She's been with me too long. So it might change, but yeah, I just don't have Lord of the Rings knowledge, and I also have never even watched the Hobbit films either. I don't know if they're good.
They are good.
Okay, well, I guess you and I have something to do in the next weeks.
Yeah, fucking right.
I'll
let Kiara know. She'll get on it.
All right, cool. So to pick an army,
that's the last one. So I don't know if you can pick an army for this yet.
Well, there's only one army that I actually know about besides like the Fellowship, and it's the what are they called? The Dementor looking people.
Oh.
The Nazguls, the Ringwraiths, those kind of things.
Yep, that is correct.
I would pick them because they are pretty cool.
Yep, they are pretty cool. I won't lie. They're pretty freaking sick.
But considering the biggest Lord of the Rings nerd in our collective of friends and gamers, the guy with the custom tattoo, the fact that he doesn't care for this game and thinks the models are bad means we'll never play it.
Oh, the models look like trash.
Which is funny because this is apparently like their most, successful game ever?
Yeah, but that's because it's Lord of the Rings, not because they're good.
I have an alternative. I don't know if it's an army or not, but I do remember when I was first like getting into these hobbies as like a 12-year-old and getting the magazines, I thought the elephants were sick.
Oh, yeah.
What's a War Mumak of Harad? War Mumak elephants.
Yeah, the elephants
They're cool
are
too.
sick.
They actually look fine as models, I must admit.
There's a few okay models in the range. But
I don't like
for the most
dudes.
part, it definitely feels like old world vibes.
At least Old World's getting some active new factions. Well, at least one for now.
I mean, this
I
is
wouldn't be
getting new
surprised if they
models.
did more. I was looking at the Total War games the other day. Is it Kevlev?
The War of the Rohirrim is their newest kind of setting in this game.
I went back to Old World. Old World Warhammer. Is it Kislev?
Yeah.
The Arctic North looking mob with like war bears and stuff. If they do a big army of them, that could be cool.
Yeah, right. But that's all I've got for you today, Joshy. That's the end of Warhammer's games. How do you feel after going through and discussing this?
I don't know if I should be terrified or proud that we are so switched on to so many games.
Mate, that's just the Warhammer one.
Yeah, we'll never own models for any other game, will we?
Tell that to Map.
Tell that to your Jade Rabbit.
Yeah.
Well, I feel good about it. I do have a question following up on Map and the Jade Rabbit, but how do you feel about our little topics of today?
I feel like not a lot has changed, but there were some picks where I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. It was nice going through and like going through my brain and working out what I would play, and a few of the games I had to look at models and work out what they were doing, and seeing that what I originally anticipated from some of these games hasn't changed is also good now that I have a better grasp on the play style of 40k and wargaming in general. But I'm pretty excited for the near future and being able to jump into a few different game modes and see what our game group can stick with, what they might enjoy outside of 40k.
Yeah, let's say our mob is open-minded to any of the things we talked about today. What's your next exposure going to be? If it was up to you, we could do any game.
If I could get them to try anything, it would be Underworlds. But more realistically, it will be Kill Team, I believe.
Yeah, that checks out.
Only because at least one of our friends already has access to a Kill Team and is having trouble sticking with 40k. And I can't imagine trying to get him involved in another game.
I see. Most of our mob has... should probably stop calling us a mob. Most of our friends have a Kill Team.
Most of or all of?
I think most of. I know Zach's got a Nemesis Claw. Our World Eaters player's got Goremongers. Our Dark Angels player has Scouts.
I think he also has Phobos.
I think he might have Phobos, or he just proxied it that one time.
Yeah.
Either or. Anyway.
And then we've got...
Commandos
our Orc
with the
player
Orcs player.
has Commandos.
Oh, they just got declassified. Did you see that?
They what?
So Kill Team is running on a seasonal shift. We've talked about it before.
Have they just hit their first shift, have they?
Yeah, they have too many armies. So every now and then they're going to keep certain kill teams as like a legacy PDF of rules and just sort of like kick them out the door, do your own thing. So Orc Commandos and Sisters Novitiates have just been reboxed to be an official 40k unit.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
Yay. That's not going to confuse anybody.
Nice. Does that mean they're no longer available, or they now are easier to get?
Hard to tell. Depends if you're shopping at Warhammer or a third-party store. Hey, we came
as
full
long as he
circle.
can still use them, that's the key thing.
Yeah, just PDF files. Like, they're going to keep, I don't know what they're calling it, but like legacy rules or declassified rules, whatever.
Yeah.
But we do have some other games on the horizons. I bought you a Malifaux box.
Oh, I'm pretty keen to give it a go.
Should build mine.
You should.
I should. You know how to play, right? You read into it.
Small bit. You know me, it won't take long to pick it back up.
Yeah. You're who I go to if I need someone to teach me how to play a game.
Hey, rules. Even last night. Hey, rules lawyers. Like, what is it?
Not me, like, in our third year of gaming, being like, so how does melee work? Can I pile in?
How does piling in and work?
When do I consolidate?
Wait,
Joshua, the fight first phase. I'm like, but...
Wait.
Like,
okay, now, pick a unit.
But can I do it at some point? Fights first phase.
Yes, but wait. But no, that's it. We're done. We got an episode done. Yay!
Woo! Yay! And the next one will be book club, I would presume.
Yes. That is
Requiem
the plan.
Infernal.
And
Brilliant.
then,
Cool.
yeah, no. Go read the book if you haven't, so that you can follow along. Spoiler alert, I found it hard to follow along.
We'll talk about it.
we will get there, but it was, oh damn, was there some stuff going on.
The Testament of, what's her name? ISF Hiatus?
Yes.
Something like that.
And Jonah...
Arukin?
No, it's Jonah... Something
Tithe?
really... Jonah Tithe. I was about to say something really religious.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Jonah
it.
Tithe. No, it had some really cool moments. We'll get there, but yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get
Alright.
there.
Well,
Good night.
you want to do your end credits sequence?
No, we're all good.
Hangs up.
Hangs up the phone. No, you hang up. No, go paint your no, go
Yes.
buy balls. Hey, join the community Discord. You can drop some comments
In the
about what
suggestion.
models and factions you'd play. Suggestion. Hey, no, you hang up.
And if you have any other issues with the Discord, remember, I'm new to this whole world. Shoot me a DM on Discord and I'll fix whatever the issue is. We did have a couple of hiccups, but it should be up and running as far as I'm aware now. So please.
Why is no
go
one interacting
do
with my
the thing.
poll, Jonathan?
Why was nobody commenting? Oh wait, commenting was turned off in that server. Come say hi.
Come say hi.
And
No, you hang up.
get some hobbying done. Good night, everyone.
I'm hanging up the phone now.